Heung-Min Son could be set for a shock transfer to Manchester United in the summer. Julen Lopetegui is on the very brink of being sacked by West Ham. And a huge new rule affecting goalkeepers set to be introduced soon. All of that and much more in today's Football Fix. If you enjoy the video, subscribe for more. Today's video is going to start with this huge goalkeeper rule change. This is set to come in the future to stop goalkeepers from time wasting. It has been tested out in the under-21s Premier League. Also been tested out in Malta, is set to be now tested in the Italian under-20s league. And this rule is very simple. If you hold on to the ball for more than 8 seconds, then a corner kick will be awarded to the opposing team. There is supposed to be a rule in football where a goalkeeper can only hold on to it for 6 seconds and an indirect free kick is awarded. However, it's never enforced. So this is looking to be consistently enforced and could be actually massive in terms of time wasting changes to the game. Fagioli is up for sale at Juventus. They are open to selling him to a Premier League side specifically for £29 million. It is a big fee, however, this is why it is to the Premier League, because all of these clubs can afford it. So there are numerous teams that have been heavily linked with him already, and a lot of these would be summer transfers rather than January due to the cost and a lot of PSR issues. Clubs can't spend that much in January nowadays, but Manchester City, Aston Villa, Fulham and Tottenham have been the main clubs linked from the Premier League so far. There are also other tenuous links to other clubs in and around Europe, even other Italian clubs, but Fagioli open to a sale. Victor Boniface is set to sign a new contract at Bayer Leverkusen. There were multiple rumours last season when he was demolishing the Bundesliga that he was going to come to the Premier League. Chelsea were heavily linked and other clubs as well. But now it is seeming like he is going to be staying until 2029. This is actually massive for Bayer Leverkusen, especially because they are set to probably lose Wirtz and Xabi Alonso in the summer. Keeping hold of some of their other really good players is a top priority. Rodri has urged Manchester City to sign Nico Williams. This is the latest report coming out. Manchester City are looking for a left-sided forward, and they are linked with multiple players, including Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. Rafael Leao has had tenuous links, but now Nico Williams is the latest left winger that maybe Manchester City are going to be looking at. And the main reason why is that Rodri, as well as multiple other players, were very impressed with Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, and the other youngsters that were coming through in their Euros campaign, which obviously they won, and Nico Williams was a huge part of it. So Rodri, agent talk getting involved. Let's see if Manchester City pull it off. Julen Lopetegui is up against it. He has now officially got his last chance. He has got one more game that he is being allowed to manage, and if he does not win it convincingly, he is going to be out the door. He previously lost against Leicester, and a lot of fans thought that that was going to be the final game, but it is now set that he has got one game against Wolves, who are also in a very similar situation, to save his job. Numerous replacements have been talked to by West Ham. Schmidt, Allegri, Terzic and Conceição have been in talks with West Ham, but the main priority and top target for West Ham United, if they sell or sack Lopetegui, is going to be ex-Brighton, ex-Chelsea Graham Potter. Could be a massive move for both him and the club. Newcastle are targeting a right winger in January, and if failing that, they are looking for one in the summer. Miguel Almiron had a purple patch, but since then has not quite hit the same heights. He has been linked away to Saudi and looked like he was set to leave in the summer, but ended up staying. Jacob Murphy has not been doing too well over there, and so they are looking for some big names. Semenyo and Brian Mbeumo are being monitored as it stands as the two main targets that Newcastle are set to go for. These are both going to have a lot of clubs coming after their signature, whether it's in January or the summer, so they face a lot of competition to sign either of these stars. Harry Maguire has been linked away from Manchester United, multiple Premier League teams are monitoring his situation at the club. He has been falling down the pecking order. We've got Lisandro Martinez, De Ligt. Even in this Amorim system, you've got people like Mazraoui, Dalot, Luke Shaw coming in as centre-backs. Maguire is falling away. Leicester City are one of the clubs that are linked with him and are reportedly interested in re-signing him on loan in January to help with their defensive situation under Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Obviously got to see Maguire a little bit in his short tenure as interim manager. This could be an interesting reunion because Leicester desperately need to stop conceding as many goals, and this could be a nice way for Maguire to reignite his career. And now the big one. Heung-Min Son has been heavily linked to a Manchester United move. This has actually been rumoured for a long time. However, it was more so about 4 years ago that there were very strong links of Son maybe going to United. These have now resurfaced for a different reason, and that is because in the summer, as it stands, he's a free agent. So Manchester United feel like this is a reasonable and realistic target for them to be able to get him and his signature in the summer. This would be a monster move and would be really interesting if it happens. Next, we have Matheus Cunha, also in a similar situation to some of these other players we've discussed. He is doing very well for Wolves right now. The club themselves, struggling. But Cunha is the star in that team, and Arsenal have started talks to sign him at the end of the season. They have been struggling without having that big striker up front. This could be their solution to the problem. However, this would be a big, costly move. Arsenal are the firm favourites that will sign him in the summer. However, he cost 50 mil. And so you are looking at a lot of money having to be spent here. They already spent big on Havertz, and he's worked okay up front, sometimes as a 9, sometimes as a midfielder. He just isn't quite that elite level player, though, that they need in order to win the Premier League. Alphonso Davies now looks set to stay at Bayern Munich and sign a renewal of his contract. This has taken a bit of a U-turn, and whether his terms have improved, whether he has sort of asked for a little bit less money and Bayern have been like, yep, sure, that will do. This did not look like it was going to happen. Real Madrid looked like they were for certain going to get him on a free contract in the summer alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold. Manchester United had also been linked because Alphonso Davies would fit that left wing-back role perfectly because of how far forward he likes to get and plays for Canada as well as Bayern Munich. So him staying at the club is actually huge for company and Bayern Munich, and also, to be fair, loyalty for Davies. Gary O'Neill is in the similar situation as Julen Lopetegui. They are ready to sack him. These are top-tier journalists and reports with the best sources that are basically saying that Gary O'Neill is one game away from being sacked. He has also got this West Ham fixture, so El Sacco at the weekend is going to be fantastically entertaining. Wolves talked to Graham Potter about a month ago, and he wasn't interested due to lack of funds available in January. And supposedly, the main reason that O'Neill is still in charge is not because of him, but it's because they have not found a suitable replacement for him, which is a damning indictment that as soon as they find that, he is out the door. The final piece of news is that Osimhen is still being looked at by PSG for a summer or January transfer. The interesting thing is that, of course, he was sort of banished by Napoli in the summer and forced to go out on loan in order to keep playing, ended up at Galatasaray. But he does still have a release clause at Napoli. In January, that is at 80 million. But in the summer, it drops a little bit down to 70. So PSG are the main team linked here. Previously, it was Chelsea, but Nicholas Jackson has been fantastic. They don't really need him as much. So we could be seeing Osimhen in Ligue 1. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you tomorrow for another one.